Hello. I had the good fortune of being able to raise 3 boys, watch them grow up and parent them. I don't think I really knew what I was doing during those years. Most of the time it all was kind of a blur at this point, certain memories I have. But I remember when they finally left, it hit me how fast it had all gone. And while they were growing up, people would say to me, "Wow, your son just looks like his grandfather or Uncle so-and-so." And I never really got that at all. I couldn't see it. I saw them every day. I saw them grow up and change, and it's just who they were. High school, I was blessed with a stepson and a stepdaughter, and even then I would see these people every day. And somehow when they reached adulthood and went off on their own, I kind of felt like I won. Yay, they made it. It was such an amazing time on some level. It was beautiful and wonderful, but I don't think I really had a clue. The best premarital advice someone ever gave me was, whatever you think you're getting into, Peter, it's not. And even with parenting, it's the same way. I didn't have a clue what I was getting into. Maybe if I read some of the books my wife was reading, I might have known more, but I think the whole way through I was kind of winging it. But I'm noticing something now that I have grandchildren. I do notice that they look like different people in the family. I'll see things. I notice things that I never noticed when I was raising children 24 hours a day and caring for them, and the details and schedules. I notice when they learn to laugh, little quirks that they have, how when they develop something and something's new in their life. It's a whole different ballgame with grandchildren. When there's a distance, we see things a little bit differently. I was told that when my grandfather, who my whole life, I've always known him, had a mustache. Well, apparently at one point he shaved his mustache off and nobody noticed. His wife or daughters for several weeks, till he said something about it, but they had just seen him every day, and they never really noticed what he looked like because they saw him every day. It's kind of hard sometimes for husbands to notice when a wife gets a haircut. We see each other so often, something so familiar. That leads me to really reflect on the notion of how do we see and notice our world. The problems around us, the beauty around us, the things that we need to be thankful for. There are so many amazing things that we take for granted. So many simple things. How the grass grows every day. The sounds of birds, the wind. Things that are so simple that we take for granted. Bugs walking along, and just the miracle of life itself. When we back off and have a kind of a stop what we're doing and go on a retreat or do something different, we oftentimes stop and journal and notice some of these things. That's why it's very important that we do that. But much of faith and much of religion is noticing, watching the ants walk, watching the birds fly. It's the same with science, the study of just paying attention to what affects, what's it doing, how's it work. Just looking, observing, without any bias, without any expectation. Just to appreciate. There is so much amazing beauty around us. So many things to be thankful for. So many simple things, and yet we spend so much time looking and worrying and being concerned about the national news and things that are in the global issues, when right before us is the majesty and mystery of God in the simplest of things. We live in an amazing world. We have an opportunity to observe, to hear, to feel, to touch, to smell. And in that is a blessing that is so deep, so pure, when we pay attention, when we give thanks, when we simply watch without any expectation and be surprised. Perhaps be surprised by joy and wonder and awe, and know that we are part of something much bigger through the smallest things, and that all of everything is connected to everything. It is in this very brief journey of life that we have the opportunity to discover grace. And it is not always in the big major celebrations and events, but is most often in the simplest of tasks, in the simplest of sights, smells, and sounds. Pay attention. Discover this moment that is yours, the blessing that is yours, waiting for you to appreciate and see and notice, like the flower in the corner of a house that otherwise would be unnoticed until it fades. Blessings to you this day, and may the blessings of this day surprise you with wonder and joy.